People think the infinite banking concept, they think it's exhausting. Premium deposits, dump-ins, PUAs, recycle and recapture, honest banker. Come on, man. That is complicated, right? I want to retire so I can enjoy my life. I don't want to have to work this hard. I want to relax. I want to go snowboard. I want to sit on the beach. I want to do the fun things. I don't want to babysit my money 24/7. The short answer is no. But let's talk about just parking your money somewhere that's safe. Somewhere you don't have to really work all that hard. Somewhere where you can just sit back, relax, knowing your money's safe, secure, and in your control. Yeah, let's talk about that.
In today's video, I'm going back to the basics. Sometimes people just want to relax. They want to live regular lives. They don't have any incentive to generate more wealth, but they want a place to put their money that isn't the traditional bank. In other words, they just want a place to park their money where their money can grow on a guaranteed basis, have some tax advantages, provide a death benefit, and if they need to, have liquidity to take that money in the event of an emergency or when they need the money. Simple. This is a very common thing. Everything that I teach about the infinite banking concept is phenomenal. It works 100% of the time, but on a rare occasion, I find that person that just doesn't want to put the effort in to actually making their money go to work. They're perfectly fine with just parking their money inside of a machine or a place where that money does all those things I just said. I got some good news for you. You know what that is? That is nothing different than the policies that we designed for the infinite banking concept. Maybe you don't want to take the money and use it. Maybe you don't want to make that money go to work. Maybe it seems like it's too much, but I've never met anybody, not a single person in my life that wasn't happy with their money growing on a guaranteed basis, earning dividends, and allowing them the security of knowing that come hell and high water, their money is there when they need it. So if that's you, then why would you look anywhere else other than whole life insurance from a mutually owned company that pays dividends? I mean, come on. It does everything we just said. It gives you a very stable return on your money, and if designed properly, it can give you immediate liquidity. A lot of the time, people think that the infinite banking concept is just a tool for investing money. And yes, it is. I mean, the infinite banking concept is the process of taking back the banking functions in your life. And I also encourage everyone to take advantage of that, but you're looking at the destination and peak performance of what the infinite banking concepts can do, not the basic functionalities of how it works. But before I show you how the infinite banking concept works as a place to park your money, make sure that you right now like this video and subscribe to this channel. And definitely, come on, hit the notification bell, smash the bell so that the next time I put a video out, you're notified. I mean, come on, this is not complicated. So let me tackle the first big question: monthly payments and dump-ins. The first mistake there is right in the name, payments. We're doing monthly premium deposits, not payments. If you think of the monthly payments as payments, then you're not going to want to make them, because who wants to pay for something? These are deposits into the policy that you're going to use to invest, buy cars, pay down debt, or do all these things. Heck, you're going to use it to finance everything in your life, which by its sheer nature is going to reduce your reliance on traditional banks and external financial institutions. That's what infinite banking is. It's you taking back the banking functions in your life, keeping the money within your family by utilizing these strategies such as family banking, where the funds are managed and circulated within your family network. Prioritize self-sufficiency and financial autonomy by building cash reserves and utilizing them for personal expenses. So the goal here is to be your own bank, to finance everything independently. Reduce the reliance on banks and external financial institutions. That's exactly what we're teaching you how to do with the infinite banking concept. You're not going to stop buying things. You're not going to stop going on vacation. You're probably not going to stop investing. Even if you say you don't want to do those things, I know you're not going to stop buying cars. And if you just use this for your own family banking, to buy all the cars in your household, to pay the expenses of your household, to do all the big purchases, that's just fine, because that is enough to completely change your financial future. Because if you just took back all the money that you give away for the purchases that you make today using traditional banks, how much more money would you have? I don't know. Figure it out. I'll wait. How much is your car payment? How much is the boat payment? How much are you paying on college and student loans? Any other loans you got out there for the things you bought? That's right. Add all those monthly payments up. Now imagine if every month you wrote those same checks, but the name on the check was your name. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about every payment you make should be going back to your family banking system, which is being your own bank. How about this? Keep all of your money in your family by utilizing the infinite banking concept. I mean, a lot of people call it family banking. Why? Well, because that's what you're doing. You're keeping your family's banking within your banking system. And that banking system, if you do this, is where your funds are managed, where your funds are circulated, and they're all circulated within your family network. Let me just kind of give you a picture. Now, we talked about cars and everything else, but what if in your family, someone else needed a loan? What if everybody in your family knew that they should come to you first when they need a loan? And maybe they need a loan for a car. Maybe they need a loan for a new business. Whatever it might be, maybe they need a loan to buy their first home. What if your banking system, your family's banking system, funded all of those things within your family? And what if you took collateral on all of those to protect the risk? Because even though they're family, doesn't mean they're gonna pay you like they should. But if they have collateral in the game, if they have skin in the game, they just might. I'm simply trying to plant the seed that this is something that all families should be doing. I mean, the Rockefellers, look at them. That's what they do. And every generation gets wealthier. They can't go any other way, because when one dies, there's a death benefit that pays into the trust, which funds the next family's generational wealth. Now, I know we're not the Rockefellers, but why not think like them? Why not act like them? And why not do what they do with money, since it works? Here's a simple way of saying it. You should prioritize self-sufficiency and financial autonomy by building cash reserves and utilizing them for personal expenses. So what does all this mean? Well, it means when you change where your money goes first and you practice the infinite banking concept, all of your money stays within your control, which, like I just said, provides self-sufficiency, financial autonomy, and gives you cash reserves in the event of emergencies. A lot of people are always talking about, oh, I need an emergency fund. But right here on a silver platter, there it is. When you need the money, it's there, and it's guaranteed to never do anything but grow. Another thing I'll never understand is people, just by sheer nature, invest in things they have no knowledge of. Literally, when you put your money in the stock market, I don't care if it's an index fund or this fund or that fund or this stock, do you know, like, and understand what you're investing in? Most people do not. They just do it because somebody said, oh, that's what you're supposed to do, and they just follow the herd. I urge you to take a different path. I urge you to opt into alternative investment options. Things that align with your personal values, your personal goals. Things like real estate, small businesses, solving other people's problems, or sustainable enterprises. It could just be charitable giving. I just spoke to a client a little bit ago. You know what her number one goal was? To give. Why not use this to escalate how much you can give on a guaranteed basis? And then, not only that, if your goal is giving, imagine that someday when you pass, you can have a part of the death benefit go to a trust or to your favorite charity. The ultimate giving happens when you go on to a better place. Listen, now I don't know where you're at, but all I'm saying is sometimes it's best to look at the alternatives before accepting what everybody else is doing. I always go the opposite direction that everybody else is going, and it has served me well, and it will serve you well. So continuing on that, let's focus on intergenerational wealth transfer. What I mean is, let's ensure the preservation and the growth of your assets for future generations. Who are those future generations? Well, it's easy to say your children, but what about your children's children? What about your children's 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 children? Children. You can figure out how to do that.
I'm gonna keep that in.
Oh my goodness. But you get what I'm saying. I want to plant this seed because this always fascinated me. And the last thing I'll say is you should maintain simplicity in your financial decisions while leveraging the infinite banking concept to achieve personal control and long-term financial stability of your wealth. So what makes this different from any other whole life insurance policy? Why would I make a specially designed one if I'm not using it for investing and doing the typical whole life stuff? Why wouldn't I just use a regular policy? Well, here's the reason why. You never ever know when you're gonna need access to that money for an emergency, for an opportunity. So why would you just use a regular whole life if your goal is to build, preserve, and protect your wealth? The way we design these policies works whether or not you're using the infinite banking concept or not. Like I said in the beginning, the infinite banking concept is phenomenal. It's phenomenal for making your money work for you. So for those of you who want to invest using the policy, definitely check out theprivethatmoneyclub.com. It's a dating site for money. It's a place where people with money meet people that need money. A place where people who have money that want to make more money can meet people that need money to make more money. That is a very easy way. I just created the simple button. Click. Hey, also, if you haven't paid attention, I'd like you to like this video right now. And also, while you're at it, subscribe to this channel. And while you're doing that, there's a little bell up there. You know, that little bell? Smash that bell so that you're notified every time I put up a new video. And if you're still on the fence about the infinite banking concept, check this video out right here. The common myths of whole life insurance and how to use whole life to get rich. So see you there.